today we're going to be rating every single Garten of Banban boss. Before we get into the video, whoever subscribes and comments, I subscribed, will get pinned. You can't just say I subscribed, guys. You have to actually subscribe. I have notifications so I know if you're fake or not. So, yeah, just please subscribe. We need to get to 1K. Okay? So, this video is about rating all the bosses. So, I'm going to put all the bosses on the screen all the way to number 4. So, first let's go on Garten banban 1. So, a peeler. Yeah, a peeler. This one isn't. It's probably one of the hardest bosses I've actually done. I play on mobile. I don't know if this glitch works on PC either. I just walk off the edge when a peeler spawns, and then when I spawn back in, the button's already like done or whatever. Yeah, the button's just already done and you can just do it. And a peeler's still in the elevator and the wooden stuff will come out, yeah. So it's just too easy. But I fall off usually. So out of tier list, I'm gonna screen record tier list for Garten of banban bosses. So wait. So before we move on, I just want to say shout out to Arcade Master. Now back to the video. So we're at the tier list, guys. Yeah. And now we've got a bunch of characters. So some of these aren't bosses, of course. So yeah. So we're not gonna do all of them. But a peeler. A C. I really didn't have much problem with that. So now we're gonna talk about the next boss. So in Garten banban 2, I think. Yeah, Garten banban 2. There's the next boss, which is Nab Nab. Now, if I'd rate him, he was actually a really, no, not really hard, but he was a hard boss. He goes in B. And then, which boss is next? So, I think the multicolored cats and fiddles. Well, they aren't here, so I can't really. So I'm just going to use cats and fiddles. It wasn't really a boss. There was a big cats and fiddles. Yeah. Sig. I did die a few times. Yeah, so the next boss was Bambalina. This little girl. Her boss was quite hard. I think she would go with Nam Nab. Sloceline. D. You were too easy. No, I think Cat Fiddles will go on D. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all the banban 2 bosses. What's the... Oh, yeah. Bambalina has two bosses. Yeah, so she gets to go in A. I didn't really have trouble with them, but both of them were probably B's, and B plus B just equals A in my world. So, yeah. Now, if we go to Garten banban 3. So, I know I'm going through this very fast. So, I'll talk about the ones I've done so far. So, I talked about peelers, cats and fiddles. The reason it wasn't, like, hard was because there was only one entity or whatever big captive fiddles, and he would just stay still the whole time. He wouldn't chase you or anything like other bosses, so it was really easy. And yeah, it was just easy, but it was it took me long, but I'm just talking about like difficulty. And Celine, I've just never died from her before, so I would just say she's like that. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah. So we're just gonna go to the so Nam Nab was hard because I would always like die because I didn't know where I was going at the end because it was way too dark even with your brightness fully up. Yeah, and Bambolina, her class was probably harder than her chasing. Her chasing did have like a maze. It did get me stumbled a few times. So, yeah, that's why she's at A, but it wasn't extremely hard. So, should we go on Garten Banban 3? I think it's Garten. So, if we go to bosses, what is at the start? I don't really remember. I've not played it in a while. Oh, also, since the baby Operas are basically a boss, I'd say, yeah, D with the others if they're just a boss for you. Namnalina. Now, this boss was really hard. I think she'd go over Bambolina. I think that's the order. No, yeah, that's the order that would go in. Yeah, Nandalina should be over Bambolina. Yeah. So, who would be next? So, who's next? I think it's Jumbo Josh, right? Jumbo Josh, D, easier than Slow Celine. I do not have a problem with him at all. People say he's like the hardest boss, but I've never died from him. I think I died from Slow Celine once, actually. So, that makes him even easier. Slow Celine, we have a lot of D bosses, because, yeah. Wait, which is the next boss? So, Chamataki and Tamataki, I'm pretty sure it's called. This boss, B. It honestly wasn't that hard. Yeah, B. Okay, let's go. Banban. Banban. I have to give this guy a B. Whenever I first did it, I had a lot of rage. It's kind of easy now, but I just want to put it in B because it was hard at the start. Yeah, I think that's just the third game done. The fourth game, well, the Sheriff Toad's the boss is basically the first thing. Oh, Chamataki and Tamataki can actually go up. So, yeah, because they have the chasing. But Sheriff Toad's the questions. Yes, Sheriff Toadster. Your questions are way too easy. You didn't even have to answer them correctly. That was just the easiest thing ever. Yeah. But it took me long because there's a lot of questions. And then, so, there isn't actually much bosses in that game. So, what is the thing you do after? I'll do Jester. C. Yeah. C. His chase scene at the start was really easy, and the chase scene at the end was also easy. I'd say good. He goes over Opila. There we go. Yes, sir. Who is next? The Sting of Bin. It's not in the thing, I don't think. So, Nab Nab also has a boss. But I'm going to count this as Mr. Kebab's boss instead. So, yeah, you're basically chasing Mr. Kebab. A C. That was really easy. And I'll put Tata with Banban because he was there, and Mr. Kebab boss was with Sulfius at the same time. So I'll just then at the ending chase scene, we'll go with Banban. Yeah. And then I'm just going to put Queen Bouncelia with the Toad. Where is Toaster? There. Next boss. Who? Kittysaurus. I'd say he's an easy one. Not as easy as Catfiddles. I didn't die from him at all. He took long. These multicolored jesters. Just gonna put them at the bottom. And Syringeon. Since he doesn't have a boss, I'm just gonna count him as where you get his room, find his room. So how do you find his room? Well, by opening a bunch of doors and that. No, you'd find a green key card, which is, that was a C. Let's see. Yep, I'm going to download it. Yes, download.